was chiefly implicated in the refusal to let Lumumba speak over the radio. Ankara, he added, was very close to General Alexander. If you would allow me, wrote Jean to Nkrumah, I would say that this is the culminating point of General Alexander's intrigue and subversive actions, which I have time and again, time and again pointed out, and which was also confirmed by all the delegations which had paid a visit to the Congo. He urged the immediate dismissal of Alexander from his post and of all the white soldiers in the Ghana contingent of Honuk. Nkrumah was horrified. He at once replied to Lumumba's note, explaining that he found himself in an embarrassing and invidious position with respect to the way the Ghanaian troops were being used in the Congo. He added that he had been fighting like mad and he has been fighting like mad day and night on your behalf. He sent to Lumumba a copy of a letter he had just sent to Secretary General Amashkot, in which he warned that if Lumumba were not allowed to use his own radio station at Leopoldville to inform the Congolese people of the critical situation, then Ghana will withdraw our troops from the United Nations Command and place them entirely at the disposal of the legitimate government headed by Lumumba. On the same day, 12th September, Nkrumah sent a further and lengthy note to Lumumba. You cannot afford, my brother, he urged, to be harsh and uncompromising. Do not force Kasavubu out now. It will bring you too much trouble in Leopoldville when you won't come there now. He gave detailed advice on cabinet reorganization, recommending that Lumumba should work through a smaller inner cabinet for quick decisions and appoint a separate technical cabinet to ensure effective cooperation with the United Nations and with foreign states. In any crisis, he assured Lumumba he himself would mobilize the Afro-Asian bloc as he was now doing. Brother, he insisted, we have been in the game for some time now, and we know how to handle the imperialists and the colonialists. The only colonialist or imperialist I trust is a dead one. Nkrumah urged Lumumba to avoid any future misjudgments. He concluded his message with a powerful exhortation. Patrice, I have surveyed the position in the Congo very, very carefully. If you fail, you have only yourself to blame, and it will be due to your unwillingness to face the facts of life, or as the Germans call it, real politic. Your future will be a great blow to the African liberation movement. I'm sorry, your failure will be a great blow to the African liberation movement, and you cannot afford to fail. Nkrumah. Lumumba was arrested on 12th September. A warrant for his arrest had been issued by the order of Chief of Staff Joseph Disa Mobutu on the grounds that Lumumba had rejected as illegal the attempt to dismiss him as prime minister. Lumumba was released later that day, largely due to the energetic intervention of Jean. As before, Jean held Alexander responsible. He reported to Nkrumah that the prestige of Ghana had been run down to its lowest ebb by General Alexander's intrigues. Unaware of Jean's efforts, Lumumba wrote again to Nkrumah, objecting to the hostile attitude of the Ghana troops. But then, when Lumumba was told of Jean's attempt to release him, his attitude to Ghana changed instantly. I gathered from the remarkable change in Lumumba's attitude towards me and from the friendly smile on the faces of his cabinet ministers, wrote Jean to Nkrumah on the 15th September, that the part I played for his release had gone home to Lumumba and his cabinet ministers, who on the previous day had insulted me as treasurers. The bitter tussle in Leopoldville continued. On 13th September, the Chamber of Deputies and the Senate voted at a joint meeting to back Lumumba as the legitimate prime minister of the Congo by 88 votes to 5, with 3 abstentions. The next day, President Kasavubu prorogued Parliament, but the president of the Chamber of Deputies and the vice president of the Senate refused to recognize the instruction. The parliamentary votes and the failure of Kasavubu to prorogue Parliament had frustrated the plan to remove Lumumba from power. Now, Mobutu and his supporters turned to a more extreme military measure. Mobutu went on Radio Brazzaville on 14th September to announce that the army had seized power, suspending civilian rule of the Congo until on 31st September. Devlin later claimed that the CIA was responsible for this ruthless development. According to a summary by the Church Committee of an interview with Devlin on 22nd August 1975, Devlin contended that the coup of Mobutu's seized control was arranged and supported and indeed managed by the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA. Mobutu established a college of commissioners to serve as a government. This council comprised Congolese university graduates and last year students from both Lovenium and foreign universities. Justin Bomboko was appointed as president. Albert Ndele became vice president, and Victor Nendaka was made chief of the security police. The dreaded Sûreté Nationale. All 3 men were being funded by the CIA. So too was Kasavubu, who was kept on as president. He signed the decree that legalized Mobutu's dictatorship. Mobutu closed the Soviet and Czech embassies and ordered all Soviet and Czech diplomats and technicians to leave the Congo within 48 hours. It was an exciting moment, recalled Devlin in his memoir. Our efforts to remove Lumumba and prevent the Soviet Union from gaining control of the Congo were at last bearing fruit. The following day, Lumumba took refuge in the Ghana officers' mess. He asked the United Nations for protection, and Rajeshwar Dayal, the Indian diplomat who had arrived in the Congo on 5th of September 1960 to take over from Ralph Bonche as Amashkov's special representative, responded immediately. He arranged for Ghanaian troops to escort Lumumba out of the camp at nightfall and take him safely home. When Mobutu announced the coup on the radio, Devlin and Andre Blouin were at the home of Alison Talipoma, the American vice consul, in an apartment building overlooking the Congo River. Shortly after our arrival, recorded Devlin, Andre Blouin, the prime minister's glamorous and beautiful chief of protocol, received a phone call and departed in a great rush. Blouin was devastated. The days that followed Mobutu's season of power, she said later, were like a modern apocalypse. The Congo was on the edge of madness. Kasavubu had at least pretended to conform to the constitutional laws drawn up by Belgian lawyers. Mobutu made no such pretenses. Democracy was completely overthrown and replaced by a military dictatorship. Parliament was closed by Mobutu's orders and rigorously guided by soldiers. For Lumumba, Mobutu's coup was the start of his road to Calvary, said Blouin. From then on, The conspiracies against him were carried on openly. Each day, Kasavubu crossed the river to Brazzaville to consult with Yulu and the Belgian embassy there on decisions for the young republic. For a few hours every day, Radio Congo broadcast from Brazzaville the most vile calumnies against us. At a press conference on the morning of the coup, Bomboko had announced the expulsion of the Ghanaian, and Egyptian United Nations contingents in the United Nations Command. Among a number of individuals issued with an expulsion order was Andre Blouin. When her mother, Josephine, heard the news over the radio, she suffered a heart attack. Blouin begged Mobutu over the phone for more time. She was granted just 48 hours. Felix Roland Mumi was deported to Ghana. On arrival, he met with Fanon, who was in Accra at the time, and together they went to see Nkrumah. The president had asked Mumi to write a report on what he had witnessed in the Congo. On the 1st October, Fanon and Mumi left Ghana for Rome. From there, Fanon went to Cairo, and Mumi went to Geneva. Within weeks of his arrival, Mumi was poisoned by an agent of the SDECE, the French Foreign Intelligence Service, who put thallium in his drink during dinner at a restaurant. The 34-year-old suffered agony in the hospital for 2 weeks, eventually dying on 3rd November 1960. In Brussels, Ambassador Borden welcomed Mobutu's seizure of power. Peace came slowly as Lumumba's power dwindled. He wrote in his memoir with satisfaction. Finally, a coup by Kasavubu and Colonel Mobutu brought about a consolidation. But some Americans in the Congo had doubts about Mobutu. I think Larry Devlin and I went to see Mobutu shortly after he took over, commented Frank Kalushi many years later. After Mobutu had been president of the Congo for several decades, I walked out of there saying, Larry, this guy can't last 10 days. Kalushi added a self-mocking aside, shows you how good a political leader analyst I was. So he was wrong to think Mobutu won't last 10 days when he took over power. He ruled the Congo for more than 20 years, probably not 30, before he was eventually captured again by another coupist. Long story. So on 17 September, Lumumba wrote to Nkrumah to inform him of his plan to move the seat of parliament and the government to Stanleyville. Gizenga was already there with some other ministers of the legitimate government. Lumumba concluded his message with an expression of renewed trust and loyalty. You can rely on me, he told Nkrumah, and I can on you. Today we are one, and our countries are one. Thank you so much for listening. That is the end of chapter 19. Now we will be going to chapter 20 the next time we open this book. Thank you so much, everyone. And again, I think we have about half an hour. This half an hour is to open the line to those who want to probably add their voice to this chat, okay? Half an hour it is. And if there is no real call or anything, when I come back, we can just wrap it up and see later in the evening, okay? So I'm going to go on another break, a short one. That's me. Thank you so much. Okay. And yeah, in the absence of no call, okay, I can say this and then wrap it up and we'll see later, right? I know there are some of you, I think it is something that has to do with, the way that Nigerians were, I don't know, like the way Nigerians were possibly like, I don't know, can we say the way they are raised? Eh? You see, I've had people who have been on my platform, okay, few times, and usually they will be like, "Oh, why are you not talking about so and so?" Oh, my friend, well, instead of you to man shake that in a cause that they cause people like you, Emeka, you are lucky that somebody deleted that your nonsense. Okay, this is Mayegun's diary political. All right, and it is whatever you see on the screen that you have a choice of either watching or not. I remember when we started all this reading, they were actually like recommended by the members of this platform. You see all these books you see here. They were all bought and sent over by the members of this platform. So when you see Mayegun reading and you don't like reading, what is all this reading? All you have to do is just gingerly, just pass. That's what you should do. It is so stupid. Not just stupid as well. It is so rude. Okay, for you to jump into a platform and something is being streamed, and then the next thing that comes to you is that, why are you reading this? Why are you reading all this long story? If I want to read book, I can go and read book. You'll be unfortunate, so like, is there something that actually will make you stay there? Like, you are so useless with your life, right? So bored with your life that you can't see something you don't like and just move on and say, okay, you know what? Oh, he's reading. I'm not interested in reading. I'll probably listen to him later when he's not reading. Than for you to be in your miserable life like that, right? You grab your phone and then you type. My friend, why are you reading? Why don't you just do something else? No, you should do something else. You don't have to sit there and watch. So I hope the person that deleted you there also helped me ban you, because that's what I would do. I always ban people like, you do not go on to somebody. See, whatever I give to you is what I want to give out. It's, when you consume that or you don't want to consume, it's up to you. Right? Don't stop coming to my platform and tell me what to say or what to do or not to do. If you don't want me to actually like curse you like that, right? Don't. So I can sit down here and just be like, you know what, play me music. And I can start dancing. If it makes you feel so, I don't know, if it kind of makes you uncomfortable, the best thing is what? Just swap it and just go and watch something else. Right? It makes you look like people. I mean, people would do that, right? It makes you look like, people who are like, people who are miserable with their lives. You get that now? Like, you are so miserable with your life, right? That you needed somebody like me to please say something that will make you probably comfortable, right? And then since you can't get that, the next is for you to kind of type it and be like, why are you reading? So it's not a flex. It's absolute, what do you call it? Miserability. And you shouldn't bring it closer to me. Okay? If you see 10 people watching Mayegun, Mayegun is reading from a chapter or something there, right? It's because those 10 people wanted Mayegun to read. That's why they're there. And if you become the 11th person, you do not have any right to begin to say, why are you all seated there listening to reading? No be me cobalize you. So this is Mayegun's diary political. Okay. And yes, I know say they try to cure the what is self-inflicted madness that a lot of you are suffering from. But there's something you must remember. Okay. I am not the source of your unfortunate existence. Okay. I am not the source of whatever you are going through in life. I do not hold you a certain medication that you say, why are you not giving me my medication? Why are you not there? You could talk about this one else. I am not your doctor. I am not your therapist per se. Okay? So when I choose something and I decide to spend my time, right? It doesn't matter how many number of people are listening. You can just be like others who don't want to listen to whatever you want to call it. You do not have to come and disgrace yourself on my platform because you only say it once. You won't say it twice, I promise you. So you don't have to watch. Clear enough? Right. So I saw what got taken care of earlier, okay? So when you see the title of Mayegun's Diary Political, and you see what Mayegun want to talk about, is enough. I don't think many people actually give so much description to their videos like I do. Yeah, like I always list out what I want to talk about. And you see this long list. If you read them, they are enough to show that, yeah, I want to be part of this. Well, I don't want to waste my time, Jared. I want to go and do something else. And I respect that. You know what I mean? I respect that. Don't ever come to my platform and tell me what to talk about or what not to talk about. Because once I clock you, right? Once I clock you, I know your type. You will never say it again. If you cannot take yourself out, I can take you out myself. So I don't need your advice. You those miserable people like that, okay? I don't know what you are going through with your life. Okay, we're all going through whatever we are going through. But I am not the person that is, what do you call it? That is your therapist. The one that you feel like once you see me on the screen, I have to be doing something you want. That makes you probably take away your, whatever it is your heart is facing. We're all facing it too, right? So thank you so much, everyone. Well, the number to dial is right there on the screen, but we are not taking any calls now. I'm just going to seize my time, use that and finish early this afternoon, and maybe rebound and come back later in the evening when we can have another longer, possibly steaming gist. Thanks, everyone. So if you haven't bought your own ticket to attend the Yoruba Union Summit in Glasgow next month, please do. And we are also looking forward to launch our Yoruba Union portal where everyone can actually sign up, get verified, be part of the something great that is cooking. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. I am going to see you later, and we won't take calls again. I'm sorry. I know the calls are beginning to come through now, right? We'll take calls later in the evening, okay? Enjoy the rest of your afternoon or your morning. I will see you later. Good afternoon.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun Diary Political.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1. ti dé.
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
lórí Facebook
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀súnra kì
Máyégún ti dé.
lórí YouTube
Máyégún ti dé.
àní ẹ̀súnra kì